Lily? Oi! Oh, excuse my voice. I'm sure if Lily could talk, her voice would be way better than mine. So what is Lily doing? And I guess the only way I can describe it is she's quite offended. I think because I offered her something to eat. She wanted out, and I thought, no, I'm going to see if she actually wants something to eat, because she's missed a few meals now, which is by no means abnormal for her. I currently have a Pani in the same state of mind, not eating, and he's missed many a meal now. But it doesn't stop me from offering. Now, as you can see, Lily is right there, but I didn't like put it too close to her or anything. I mean, I'll sit it there and she'll look at it, but she avoids it, and she does get quite offended and retreats back into her enclosure like, I'm not, it's almost like she's disgusted with it. And I mean, mice are, of course, the only thing that Lily will eat. And I guess why I'm doing this video is because I know for many people they stress when their snake doesn't eat and often think, what is wrong? What's the matter with my snake? I'm putting it up there, out of her way. Are you going to come out? You're going to come out? Or are you just going to be sulking? Yes, sulking. I will sulk. I won't come out. Yeah, lots of people, if I get waylaid, which I do often if you know me well here on my channel, that I get waylaid and forget. But yes, many people do wonder, is there something wrong with my snake? And a lot of the time it's got nothing to do with anything actually physically being wrong with your snake at all. Yes, it can be related to their environment, humidity, temperatures, all that. So if you've checked all of that and you know, well, the temps are good, and I haven't even checked my temps or humidity, and basically I don't need to. I have a diary. Lil, I'm going to poke this right in your face then, and not that we can see you, but I might try and set this down here and people can look at you and not me. How's that? I don't know if that's going to stay there. That wasn't my best idea. Shove something up again. Oh yeah, there you go, Lil. Camera's right in front of your face, okay? So come on out. Yeah, I keep a running journal, you could say, on behaviours and the things that I've noticed with them, and things that change and things that stay pretty much the same. And pretty much the same is Lily. Very predictable. I pretty much am tuned in to the time of year, of course, that she'll stop eating. Now, you know, I've never bred Lily. Of course, they still go through all the motions of breeding behaviour. And also, cooler weather, it's not generally what they're doing is eating a lot. You know, they eat a lot over the warmer months, and then they really slow down over the cooler months. And it's a good idea for you to do the same. Of course, when you're breeding snakes, you ultimately want them to eat a lot more over the summer months, so they get a little bit of weight on them and so forth. And yeah, because come August, we would contemplate breeding them, and we do want them to be of a good weight. So Lily still goes through the motions around the August, September, October, and you're just ultimately looking at me now, aren't you? Are you going to, oh, my camera needs a minute, guys, to focus. You going to come out? Miss, I'm not eating anything, and dare you put something in my face to even bother to ask me if I want to eat. I get it, Lily, I understand it, and I haven't done that for about 3 weeks now. I have not offered her anything to eat, so yeah. But yeah, they still go through that motion of hormonal breeding. You know, I have males in my house that send off all that pheromones, well, the girls and the boys, and they smell each other, and that instinct kicks in with them, whether they've ever bred in their lives or not. And not eating kind of computes in their brain that, you know, I don't eat. I stop eating pretty much at this time of the year, and I start to produce follicles and so forth instead of actually eating. Well, that's what I have found with Lily and Maya especially. I've yet to see that with Ishi, so it will be interesting to see when she starts. And these are all triggers in my brain to tell me that they're ready to breed. And unless they go through those behaviours, everything tells me that they're not ready to breed. Now my males, now you see me saying that a pony being male, due to the fact that he has stopped eating, more so tells me that the he is a she, because it's only really my females that stop eating, not my males. We actually forcefully, well, I don't, but breeders stop feeding their males because they don't want them to be full-bellied, contented and lazy and not wanting to mate with the females. Yes, I think about that and think, well, out in the wild they would eat, whether they were breeding or not breeding, you know, possibly slow down their meals, make them smaller meals, but not stop eating them. But then there are species that I know, if the male smells a female, they're more interested in mating than they are in actually eating. But I have really not seen that in my males, to be perfectly honest. Now I've just been through a run with Archie, my rough scale. Lily? No? Yeah, Archie, my rough scale, who stopped eating, just stopped eating. And I thought to myself, well, you are not of age to be mating or thinking about female, so what is going on? Now Archie stopped eating in his previous enclosure, but I put him into this one and I fed him a few days later, and he couldn't get to the feeder fast enough. Now, I will put that down to, well, I did say in a video, coincidence. I don't know, but he's probably still in a little bit of, oh, he shouldn't be. He really has had a big fat full belly at the moment, but I won't wake him up either, you could say. But yeah, he couldn't get to his feeder fast enough, and I'm wondering and correlating the fact that being up higher, and they love striking downwards for their meal. They don't like to be on the same level, on the floor. Well, that's what I've found. Archie has always been up high and then struck down to the ground to grab his prey. So he'd lost that in his other one, so to speak. And in this one, he's so much higher and he's so much bigger now, guys. So he needed this, and I think he's just feeling so much more comfortable in here. He has his palm tree over in the back, and as you can see while I'm here, it's still growing, and it's doing well. Eventually it's going to be right up to the height of this actual enclosure. So yeah, that will be good. Oh, here's his little head, and he's going, is there more eats? Well, there isn't. There is no more to eat. And they do stay in a little bit of a feeding mode for about 24-48 hours after you feed them. Not all. Some kind of get it. Yeah, well, I was fed yesterday, so I'm certainly not getting fed again today. Currently, Jesse is having his meal because I did not feed him last night at all. Little Apani, though, where he might be, I am not 100% sure. He could be hiding in his music box, but certainly turned his nose up at what he was going to eat last night, and it was not his rats. So now Amaya, what can I say about Amaya right now? Well, what I can say about Amaya right now is I fed him last night, and I thought, oh, okay, that's good, but I noticed his light on his heat panel was completely, here I am not showing you, was completely off. And it does go off because it does get warm enough, you can say. So yeah, I noticed that his heat panel was not lit up, and after I gave him the rat, I put my hand in and I felt, and it was cold, and it should never go to cold. Well, not for, yeah, but it was cold. So I figured something was going on with it, and what he had actually done, which I did not know he had done, was he had actually snapped though I'm getting there, but he had actually snapped this, and so this was telling me something was very wrong. And this is midnight last night, so I very quickly just connected up another little cheap thermostat, but it works fine. There's nothing wrong with it at all. Very quickly put that on. Oscar 8 and Car 8, Ishi 8, Maya 8, Archie 8, Tessa, who's in the dark, of course, because no, I have not put her light on yet, but she is eating. Currently she is eating, and I can see that Oh, my boy has done a poo. See, I took him outside yesterday, and because I knew he needed to go to the toilet, and he didn't go. And I will add, that is not Jesse's fault. That was completely my fault because I had to do something and I had to bring him back in. And there's little Apani right there, making his way into his and behind his, music box. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean that up while Jesse is eating his rat. Now Jesse and Tessa will not be fed for 3 to 4 weeks now at this particular point, because that's really quite a generous size feeder, especially for Jesse. Maybe not so much for Tessa. She could eat, no doubt, a much larger meal, but you do know that I do not offer the larger meals. I prefer to offer the smaller meals, and I do slow down, even with the smaller meals, with my adults, but not my babies. They need to be fed. For me, as a neonate young one, every 5 days. For that first at least 6 months, I like to feed every 5 days with a smaller feeder. Then I'll go to a little bit larger feeder and I will spread them out to 7 days, depending, watching them. And then of course once they hit 12 months, it's definitely weekly, but it's still maintaining that smaller feeder element. And then virtually within that year, they're going a fortnight. But I might double feed that smaller feeder. I kind of just know. And I've always said it's so difficult for me to explain what I do without you following it and seeing it and doing it that way. But anyway, we're in the dark, totally in the dark, guys, and I apologise because, I'm just picking up this camera and I'm doing what I'm doing when I can right now. So, yeah, just a little bit about feeding, and please, do not panic. And unless you can see signs that something is wrong with your snake, it is generally something going on in their environment. Make sure it's all on point. If all of that is good, leave them go. Just wait them out. If they're not sick, when they're hungry, they are going to eat. Trust me, they're going to eat when they're hungry and not when you think that they should eat. Check the time of the year. Is it breeding season? Are they old enough to be breeding? Is that what's going on in their brain? Is it just instinctual to them that I'm getting fed, I don't need to be fed, it's not what and we are talking captive kept, which you may think, well, they shouldn't be thinking like that, because they do get fed on the reg and there's always food around for them and they know that. Yes, but their body tells them, well, their brain tells them otherwise. And maybe that's a good thing. Maybe they stop eating because that's a good thing. Because we do know there's a lot of fat, obese snakes out there. So guys, I'm going to end it here. And I am going to offer Lily a chick. So I might put a little bit of a clip in showing you me offering her a chick, and you can just see how disgusted she looks at me. So take care, and I will be back chatting soon. Woo. And yeah, here's a clip of Lily trying a chick, and so I'm going to say ciao now. And that's what she's doing, isn't she? Chowing, really, but I'm saying the different chow. So here we go. Yes, I know, little baby chicks, don't worry. I feel it sometimes. Well, no, I feel it all the time. Why should I say sometimes? But hey, I'd feel it a lot worse if my snakes weren't... Oh, look, I'm putting blood on there, and I don't know whether that's mouse blood or not. Do you want chick? Do you want to try chick? Do you think a chick might be good? You used to eat them. I'm not fibbing. You used to eat chicken. You quite liked them, and you know, I do like my snakes to have a variety. Of course, I'd need many a chick to feed Tessa and Jessie, you could say. But, you know, I know that Tessa eats them because she'll get this, of course, if Lily doesn't decide to eat it. And you might say, oh, you're mixing, you know, what they're eating. Is that good for them? You know, it all goes in the stomach and it all gets digested. So, you know, it is no big deal. So, you know, yes, it's better to alternate. One time feed the rats or mice or whatever you're feeding. I certainly do not recommend offering mice to jungles, but certainly you can offer quail and you can offer chicks, and as you can see, no, and that is because you know, I know she's not hungry and she, you know, is, Mum, you know I do not eat at this time of the year, so you know, you're not even slightly like tempting me, you know that. Chicks and all, and even when she is hungry though, even when she is hungry, she doesn't touch chicks. So yeah, what do you think? What do you think? Hey, they're chicken, they're good for you, honestly. They're quite good for you. You know, I haven't had one of these for a while, and do I really want to have one? Because then Mum will think that I'm into chicks and that she can give me less mice and more chicks, and well, I really like my mice. What are you doing? Hey? Do you want it? Do you want it? Honestly. No. You don't want it. I can tell. I can don't fall off. Like, honest. There you go. That even makes her more, you know, why would you leave that thing hanging there? But in the meantime, it can just stay there till I'm ready to feed it to Tessa or Jessie. Doesn't really matter. I guess maybe who gobbles down their rat the fastest, and I have an idea that might be Tessa, but we'll see.